Sure. So my name is Bryce Chackerian. I'm a Regents professor in the Department of Molecular Genetics and Microbiology at the UNM School of Medicine. I've been here at UNM since 2004, and my work is focused on vaccine development, and so our work is very translatable, and so we've submitted many disclosures to UNM Rainforest. I think we have 17 issued patents and probably a dozen additional disclosures that are moving their way through the patent process. So I've had extensive interactions with UNM Rainforest in the patent process. Yeah, so as I mentioned, we work on vaccines, and actually my interest in patenting our work kind of stemmed from my postdoc, where I worked at the National Cancer Institute in the lab that developed the human papillomavirus vaccine. And that vaccine never would have seen the light of day if it hadn't been for the patent protection that the NIH received and then licensing to two large pharmaceutical companies. So the stuff that we do, which is basic research evaluating vaccines, in order to get those vaccines into the clinic, we really need to collaborate with biotech or pharmaceutical companies. And they're not going to give you the time of day unless you have appropriate intellectual property associated with your inventions. So it's a real critical step in moving our work from the bench into the clinic. Yeah, so UNM Rainforest has done a great job of marketing our work to entrepreneurs and small biotech companies. So there have been 4 companies that have started up that have licensed our technologies. Just briefly, I'll mention one. It's called TheraVac. So TheraVac is a small startup company that is trying to develop vaccines for Alzheimer's disease using some of our technologies, and also other diseases that are associated with inflammation. And so we've been really excited to, that they're interested in our work, and we've been taking an active role in collaborating with them to move our inventions forward. So one, as I mentioned, this is a way that we can move our vaccines forward. We do things in the lab, and that's very exciting, but the real goal of vaccines is to move them into humans. And again, that's the only way to sort of bridge this valley of death between basic science and clinical implementation, is engaging companies, and intellectual property is critical for that. But I think also personally, interacting with these companies has really opened up a whole new world to me. I'm starting to think about the things that need to happen in order for an invention to be commercialized. What do you need to do to go to the FDA to file an IND? What are the things you need to think about when you're developing clinical trials? All those things are really important for allowing us to think, more broadly about what we're doing in the lab, and that's been incredibly valuable. Those of us who go into research, we do that because we're passionate about it. We're excited to do basic science research. And so, my advice, of course, is to pursue those passions, but to always keep in the back of your mind, what are the commercial applications of what you are doing? And there may not be any, and that's fine, but there are often interesting and perhaps unexpected commercial applications in places that you wouldn't normally expect them to be. We've been very fortunate in our vaccine work because, of course, there are clear commercial applications of developing vaccines, but it's been interesting how you see projects that maybe didn't seem like they had commercial potential develop into something that's quite exciting. Basic science can promote interesting new products and innovations that can change human health.